Nigeria's Chief of Army Staff, Major General Waidi Shuaib, has been making empty promises about the possibility of eradicating terrorists in Nigeria uh, and providing security for peace and progress. But if wishes were horses, it would have been there would have been no controversy. But wishes are not horses. There are three forms of I identified two forms of insecurity in Nigeria: physical insecurity and financial insecurity. Of course, they are intertwined. And when you talk of physical insecurity, it has three arms. The war against the Boko Haram Muslim community is a cause of physical insecurity. Yeah. And the second arm, herdsmen terrorism, pervasive throughout Nigeria. The war against the Boko Haram Muslim community is not pervasive throughout Nigeria, but as a jihadist war imposed on Nigeria is affecting the entire Nigeria, the economy of Nigeria, human resources of Nigeria. Yes, both civilians and security operatives are being killed. Killed, maimed, kidnapped, and so on. So, but for the herdsmen terrorism is pervasive. Throughout Nigeria, the herdsmen terrorists are bold, fearless, daring. In the third instance, is armed bandits that are just mushrooming. Yeah. So you now ask yourself, let me go to the second category of insecurity, financial insecurity, based on the unbridled corruption of those in government, the rulers of the land, controlling also the security forces. So they are the unbridled corruption of the rulers, with particular reference to claiming fuel subsidy in an oil exporting country and declaring fuel subsidy and all other subsidies gone as a ploy to maximally loot Nigeria's oil wealth, leading to worsening mass abject poverty. So that's I categorize as financial insecurity. And now I ask, which of these forms of insecurity, which of it is within the purview of security forces to eradicate? The war against the Boko Haram Muslim community has been ongoing, or started in 2009 and ongoing till date, because Nigeria's rulers are not ready for peace. Even when the Boko Haram Muslim leaders were itching for peace. Nigeria's rulers prefer to defeat and eradicate the Boko Haram Muslim community. And they have been at it to Nigeria's detriment since 2009 till date. It started under the presidency of Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, with Goodluck Ebele Asikwe Jonathan as his vice president. Yar'Adua, who started it in 2009, died in 2010. And Jonathan became Nigeria's president in 2011 and perpetuated the war for 4 years, 2011 to 2015. Muhammadu Buhari for 8 years, 2015 to 2023. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu since more than 2 years, 2023 till date. So if the security forces could eradicate the Boko Haram Muslim community, why have they not done it? With all the intensified warfare against it, importation of warplanes and sophisticated weapons since 2009 to date. Why have the security forces not done it if they could do it? So it's the security forces have no power to initiate dialogue. Any military general that suggests such a thing is sacked and, if not killed, because we cannot know all the secrets going on, but we can ask questions. What led to the death of Taurid Lagbaja, or even before then, Andrew Assasi, General Andrew Assasi, and others like that, who died in mysterious circumstances because they seem not to support this unjustifiable and invincible war. As a matter of fact, unjustifiable and invincible. Yeah, since the Boko Haram Muslim community was peaceful until attacked by government forces, radicalized by government policies and actions. So that is beyond the military or the security forces taking orders from the bloody civilians. Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, Goodluck Ebele Asikwe Jonathan. Yes, granted that Muhammadu Buhari was a major general before he resigned as a former military head of state of Nigeria to become a civilian president of Nigeria, 2015 to 2023. So he also became a bloody civilian. And now another bloody civilian, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who will not go to the war front, but giving orders from the comfort of the presidential villa. So, but if the security forces could defeat the Boko Haram Muslim community, why have they not done it now? What did they not do that the current chief of army staff and other security chiefs will do? Because since the new chiefs came into power, hardly any day passes without terrible occurrences of attacks, even on the military formations. So, and then herdsmen terrorism that is pervasive. It is as if the security operatives are even told not to be hard on the herdsmen terrorists. We have not heard of any shootout between the herdsmen terrorists and Nigeria security forces. Why is it beyond the security forces, if at all they are not outlawed from being hard on the herdsmen terrorists? But at any rate, if the menace will stop, it will not come from the security chiefs, but from the ruler. That's what I'm saying. As with the war against the Boko Haram Muslim community, the power to stop it is with Nigeria's rulers. And armed bandits, armed banditry activities, criminal activities being fueled by the mass impoverization policies and actions of government. How is that within the purview of Nigeria's security forces? So that's the point I'm making. And that leads to financial insecurity of Nigerians, rooted in the unbridled corruption of the rulers, claiming fuel subsidy in an oil exporting country, and even declaring that fuel subsidy and all other subsidies are gone. Yet, devaluing the naira and creating worse abject poverty than ever, fueling criminal activities. How is that within the purview of security forces? You want peace where there is no justice. And some security chiefs are promising what they should know is not possible, is beyond their purview. That is my argument. And that is the challenge I'm putting to the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Waidi Shuaib, because he seems to be more optimistic than any of the security chiefs that I've listened to. He seems to be more exuberant. I don't know whether it's the youngest of the security chiefs, but let us be realistic. The insecurities bedeviling Nigeria cannot be explained outside of misrule. Herdsmen terrorism, grazing of cattle in agrarian fields, politicizing Islam to the extent of imposing a jihadist war on the nation. All of this, So, the war, if it will stop, is on the death step of Nigeria's rulers. Herdsmen terrorism, arising from grazing of cattle in agrarian fields, if it will stop, is on the doorstep of the Nigerian rulers. The first claim of fuel subsidy, looting Nigeria's oil wealth, leading to worsening mass abject poverty. Look at price of fuel. From less than 100 naira to neighborhood of 1,000 naira. So that is my challenge to the Nigeria's Chief of Army Staff, Major General Waidi Shuaib. and the rest of the security chiefs to reconsider what we are doing in Nigeria. Nigeria's rulers don't want peace. They don't do justice. If they do justice, criminalities will minimize. Yes, that is just it. The war against the Boko Haram will vanish. Herdsmen terrorism will vanish to start with. Mass improvisation policies will fizzle out. But until all this happen, forget about securing Nigeria. Be more realistic. The security forces are overstretched. I've just been hearing that President Tinubu should employ, is it 10,000 soldiers or what? But at least additional security personnel. But go to the root, uproot the crisis, and you will see a new Nigeria. Even better than what we had with Olusegun Obasanjo. But Olusegun Obasanjo had shown us that it is possible to rule Nigeria without terrorism, without mushrooming and bandits, as it were.